Welcome to the Copenhagen Learning Designs podcast, where we explore the fascinating world of cross-cultural competency, inclusion and diversity, onboarding, work processes, education and learning design. Join us as we discuss and dissect these topics, offering insights and inspiration to create truly transformative learning experiences. In this episode, in today's digital age, ethical questions are becoming increasingly complex and widespread in the workplace. As a workplace leader, it is essential to be aware of the different ethical dilemmas that can arise and how to navigate them. This guide provides an overview of ethics in the digital age and offers practical tips for leaders on how to create an ethical workplace culture and make ethical decisions. Ethics is a crucial aspect of any workplace, as it shapes the behavior and actions of employees. In the digital age, organizations are faced with a new set of ethical questions that are often complex and challenging to navigate. Workplace leaders must be equipped with the knowledge and skills to address these issues effectively. This guide aims to provide leaders with a comprehensive understanding of ethics in the digital age and offer practical advice on how to create an ethical workplace culture. Understanding ethics in the digital age. The digital age has brought about significant changes in the way we work and communicate. With the advent of new technologies, organizations are now faced with a range of ethical questions, from data privacy and cybersecurity to social media use and online harassment. Workplace leaders must be aware of these ethical issues and understand how they impact their organization. One of the key ethical considerations in the digital age is data privacy. As more businesses collect and store personal data, there is a growing concern about how this information is used and protected. Workplace leaders must ensure that their organization is complying with relevant data protection laws and that employees are trained on best practices for handling sensitive information. Another ethical issue that has arisen in the digital age is cybersecurity. With an increasing amount of business conducted online, organizations are at risk of cyber attacks and data breaches. Workplace leaders must take steps to ensure that their organization has robust cybersecurity measures in place and that employees are trained on how to identify and respond to potential threats. Ethical questions in the workplace. Ethical questions can arise in any workplace, regardless of industry or size. It is essential for workplace leaders to be aware of the different types of ethical questions that can arise and how to address them effectively. Some common ethical questions in the workplace include conflicts of interest, workplace harassment, and discrimination. Conflicts of interest can arise in situations where an employee's personal interests conflict with their professional responsibilities. Workplace leaders must ensure that their employees are aware of the organization's policies on conflicts of interest and that they understand the implications of failing to disclose potential conflicts. Workplace harassment and discrimination are also significant ethical issues that can arise in any workplace. Workplace leaders must take a zero-tolerance approach to harassment and discrimination and ensure that employees are trained on how to recognize and report these types of behaviors. Common ethical dilemmas in the workplace. Ethical dilemmas can be particularly challenging to navigate, as they often involve conflicting values or interests. Workplace leaders must be prepared to address these dilemmas effectively and make decisions that are aligned with their organization's values and principles. Some common ethical dilemmas in the workplace include issues related to employee conduct, conflicts of interest, and social responsibility. Employee conduct is a particularly challenging area for workplace leaders to navigate from an ethical perspective. Ethical dilemmas can arise when an employee's conduct violates the organization's values or policies. In these cases, workplace leaders must take appropriate action to address the behavior and ensure that it does not happen again. Conflicts of interest can also present ethical dilemmas in the workplace. In some cases, employees may be placed in a situation where their personal interests conflict with their professional responsibilities. Workplace leaders must be prepared to address these conflicts of interest effectively and make decisions that are in the best interests of the organization. Navigating ethical questions. Tips for leaders. Navigating ethical questions in the workplace can be challenging, but there are several practical steps that workplace leaders can take to address these issues effectively. Some tips for workplace leaders include developing a strong ethical framework, fostering open communication, and leading by example. Developing a strong ethical framework is essential for any organization. Workplace leaders must establish clear policies and procedures that outline the organization's values and principles. These policies should be communicated clearly to all employees and should be regularly reviewed and updated as needed. Fostering open communication is also crucial for addressing ethical questions in the workplace. Workplace leaders must create an environment where employees feel comfortable raising ethical concerns and reporting unethical behavior. Leaders should also be approachable and receptive to feedback from employees. Finally, leading by example is essential for creating an ethical workplace culture. Workplace leaders should model ethical behavior and hold themselves and others accountable for adhering to the organization's values and principles. Creating an ethical workplace culture. Creating an ethical workplace culture is essential for promoting ethical behavior and decision-making. Workplace leaders must take an active role in shaping the culture of their organization and promoting ethical values and principles. Some practical steps for creating an ethical workplace culture include hiring for values, providing regular ethics training, and recognizing ethical behavior. Hiring for values is an effective way to create an ethical workplace culture. Workplace leaders should prioritize hiring candidates who share the organization's values and principles. This can help to ensure that employees are aligned with the organization's ethical standards from the outset. Providing regular ethics training is also crucial for creating an ethical workplace culture. Workplace leaders must ensure that employees are aware of the organization's policies and procedures and are trained on best practices for ethical decision-making. Recognizing ethical behavior is also an effective way to promote an ethical workplace culture. Workplace leaders should publicly recognize and reward employees who demonstrate ethical behavior and decision-making. This can help to reinforce the importance of ethical behavior and encourage others to follow suit. The role of technology in ethical decisions. Technology can play a significant role in ethical decision-making. Workplace leaders must be aware of the different technologies available and how they can impact ethical questions in the workplace. Some technologies that can impact ethical decisions include artificial intelligence, social media, and data analytics. Artificial intelligence, AI, is an increasingly common technology in the workplace. AI can be used to automate tasks and improve decision-making. However, there are ethical concerns surrounding the use of AI, particularly related to bias and transparency. Workplace leaders must be aware of these concerns and ensure that their organization is using AI in an ethical and responsible manner. Social media is another technology that can impact ethical decisions in the workplace. Social media can be a powerful tool for communication and marketing, but it can also present ethical challenges related to privacy and harassment. Workplace leaders must ensure that employees are trained on best practices for social media use, and that the organization has clear policies in place for addressing social media-related ethical issues. Data analytics is also a technology that can impact ethical decision-making. Data analytics can be used to analyze large amounts of data to identify patterns and make predictions. However, there are ethical concerns related to data privacy and the use of personal information. Workplace leaders must ensure that their organization is using data analytics in an ethical and responsible manner. The importance of workplace ethics training. Workplace ethics training is essential for promoting ethical behavior and decision-making. Workplace leaders must ensure that employees are aware of the organization's values and principles and are trained on best practices for ethical decision-making. Some key benefits of workplace ethics training include increased employee morale, improved decision-making, and reduced risk of ethical violations. Workplace ethics training can take many forms, from in-person training sessions to online courses and workshops. Workplace leaders must ensure that the training is relevant, engaging, and effective in promoting ethical behavior and decision-making. Ethical leadership and decision-making. Ethical leadership is essential for promoting an ethical workplace culture and making ethical decisions. Workplace leaders must demonstrate ethical behavior and decision-making and hold themselves and others accountable for adhering to the organization's values and principles. Some key traits of ethical leaders include honesty, integrity, and transparency. Ethical decision-making is also essential for workplace leaders. Workplace leaders must make decisions that are aligned with the organization's values and principles and take into account the potential impact on stakeholders. Some practical steps for ethical decision-making include gathering relevant information, considering different perspectives, and seeking input from others. Conclusion. In conclusion, navigating ethical questions in the digital age is essential for workplace leaders. By understanding ethics in the digital age, identifying common ethical dilemmas, and taking practical steps to promote an ethical workplace culture, leaders can create an environment where ethical behavior and decision-making are prioritized. By leading by example, providing effective ethics training, and making ethical decisions, workplace leaders can ensure that their organization is operating in a responsible and ethical manner. Thank you for joining us on the Copenhagen Learning Designs podcast. To continue your learning journey, we invite you to explore our wide range of educational resources available. From ebooks on inclusion and diversity, onboarding and workplace dynamics to leadership and entrepreneurship, there's something for everyone. Take action now and unlock the power of knowledge by searching for Copenhagen Learning Design on Amazon.com. Don't miss out on the opportunity to enhance your skills and drive personal and professional success.